everyone, Cori here. So I am here to film a video today inspired by our March Murder and Mayhem box, which is going to be shipping out soon as of the posting of this video. Now the recommendations I have for you today each feature a little bit of murder and a little bit of mayhem, and I may or may not be able to tell you what the murder is for spoilers' sake, but I will get in a bit to the plot, and these are all books that I really enjoyed. So first up I have Scythe by Neal Shusterman. This is a very popular book here on BookTube, and for good reason. This is an absolutely fascinating dystopian novel that really does dystopia in a way I hadn't seen before. So essentially in this world, humans don't really die of natural causes anymore. Humanity has kind of perfected health, so there are now the need for people called Scythes, and it is their duty to kind of cull the population. Now Scythes are very highly respected in the society, and our two main characters are Citra and Rowan, and they have been taken on as apprentice Scythes, and they are kind of in a competition in order to become the next Scythe. So obviously with that job description there is quite a lot of murder happening in this book, even if it is government sanctioned. Next up I have Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This is a book that I really want to reread, as I read this quite a few years ago now, but I just remember how much I adored it when I read it. It is a very brutal story about college roommates Victor and Eli, who are just like these brilliant people who share a lot of ambition, and they discover that given the right conditions, if somebody has a near-death experience, that could potentially grant them superpowers. Now flash forward 10 years into the future, Victor has just gotten out of prison and he is on a course for vengeance. A lot of people have read this book. It is an adult novel, this one. It's very brutal, but it is just so well written, and again, one that I am very excited to reread soon. I still haven't read Vengeful, but I'm definitely going to get to it this year. Next up is a book that I probably don't have to go into too much, but that is Lord of the Flies by William Golding. I read this back in my grade 10 year of high school, and I remember it being one of the very few assigned readings that I really loved. If you weren't aware, this is about a group of boys whose plane crashes onto this remote island, and they try to set up a way in which to govern themselves, essentially. Needless to say, even by this gory cover, this does not go well, and they quickly descend into this sort of madness. It is a really fascinating kind of look on like a microcosm society. It is a classic that if you haven't read it yet, I do recommend picking it up. To this day, it has stuck with me. Next up is a past OwlCrate book that we included way back in 2015, and that is A Madness So Discreet by Mindy McGinnis. This is a historical thriller novel about our main character Grace, and her father has sent her away and locked her up in an insane asylum in order to keep her family's secrets. She's eventually transferred to a more kind of ethical hospital, and in this hospital she teams up with a criminal psychologist and starts helping him try to solve murders. Specifically in this book there is someone who seems to be a serial killer who has been killing young women. This book is a really heavy book, but I really enjoyed it when I read it back in 2015. Mindy McGinnis has such an interesting writing style. She writes so broadly and across so many different genres. It's very interesting. I really like the characters in this one, and Grace herself is just a fascinating person. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, this is one that is a good one to check out. Next up I have Deathnote by Tsugumi Ohba. This is a very dark manga series that's kind of like completely stole my attention last year, and I just cannot stop thinking about it. This is about our main character Light Yagami, and he finds this notebook that has been dropped by a Shingami death god, and it is the Deathnote. And essentially there's many rules around the Deathnote, but essentially if you write somebody's name in it, they will for sure die. It is just so eerie, and the art style is so creepy, and the Shingami just like give me chills. But it also features like a really interesting examination of what is good and what is evil and the shades of gray in between. I will admit that the volumes 1 and 2 of the entire manga series, there's 12 in total, are my favorite, but they're very solid. The story is really gripping. So if you're looking to read manga, I think this is a really good one to pick up, just because I don't think you need to be a fan of the format in order to get into this. Next up, I have Daughter of the Burning City by Amanda Foody. I just love Amanda Foody's writing, but in this book we feature our main character Serena, and she has grown up in the Gomorrah Festival, which is this kind of traveling circus community town that is full of different performers. Serena is special because she is the very first and only illusion worker to be born in what may be hundreds of years, and she has the ability to conjure these like really complex illusions. These illusions also go so far as to have like personalities of their own, but at the end of the day it should be that they are just illusions and they aren't real, and that is until one day one of her illusions turns up murdered. So she has to kind of embark on a journey to figure out who, what, and why, and how it is possible for something that shouldn't be real to be killed. Like I said, I just adore Amanda Foody's writing. Her world building in this was just kept me on the edge of my seat. This is a standalone novel as well, and just like a lot of the descriptions of the different illusions of the Gomorrah Festival itself, it just really stuck with me. This is another one that I would love to reread. And last but not least, I have Sadie by Courtney Summers. Again, this is one I've talked about quite a lot on this channel recently, but I feel like this list for me wouldn't be complete without including this. So this is a very dark contemporary book about a girl named Sadie who has gone on a journey to basically avenge the murder of her sister. So Sadie is looking for her sister's murder on a set of very vague clues, and Sadie is not like a good person, and it's a very dark and twisted kind of take. You also feature in here a very popular podcast that is trying to figure out what happened to Sadie and her sister. So you kind of go through alternating points of view between Sadie and this podcast. It was absolutely fascinating. I believe the audiobook just won an award for the performance, and I completely understand why. I listened to the audiobook of this and it was just so well done. If you're looking for kind of a contemporary thriller that's a YA that's really solid, sometimes I find that's kind of hard for us to get. Sadie is phenomenal. Alright, so those are just a few of the books that I recommend based on our Murder and Mayhem box theme. As of this video going up, we do still have some Murder and Mayhem boxes available, so if you want one of those for yourself, head to OwlCrate.com to grab one. I love a bit of a darkness in my stories, so I'm always on the search for more books like this, so if you have recommendations for me, please leave them in the comments down below. If you like this video, please give a big thumbs up and subscribe for more videos every week. Happy reading and thanks for being awesome. Bye!